Well, hello everyone! Welcome to Running Otaku. I am the Running Otaku, and this is episode 22, Boston. Okay, before we get started, just a quick apology. You see, I brought my camera with me, but I forgot to bring the mic, and the sound quality without it is pretty poor. So I have to film this today on my iPhone 7. So if the quality's not very good, well, sorry. Not too much I can do about it now. Let's talk about three things today. First, the weather and how it affects my race strategy. Second, the gear I'll be wearing tomorrow. And then finally, my schedule for the big day. So as usual in the Boston Marathon, the weather is totally unpredictable. In fact, just last week, the weather forecasts were saying that race day was going to be very cold, strong headwind, and heavy rain. So not ideal conditions at all. Fortunately, it's changed, and it's changed a couple times, but the most recent forecast is with a nice tailwind, which is fantastic, but it's going to be a little bit hot and humid. So the temperature is supposed to be around 65 degrees, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 degrees Celsius. But the humidity is going to be close to 80% with some light rain. So the dew point is right at 60, and that's really the borderline between when your sweat can easily evaporate and when it can't. So it will be a little bit tough to maintain kind of a cool body temperature. So I'll make sure I drink plenty of water, probably douse myself every once in a while, and take my nutrition every 40 minutes. With the new weather forecast, my strategy has changed only slightly. The tailwind is great, so I hope to be able to run a little bit quicker in the first half and a little bit slower in the second half. So actually positive splitting the race, which is unusual for me, but given the downhill nature and the wind, I think it may actually be the best strategy. So for the first 6 miles or 10K, I'm going to be going out at 10 minutes per mile or 6 minutes per kilometer faster than my kind of goal target pace. And then the flatter sections from mile 6 to 16, just 1 or 2 seconds faster than my goal pace, just to bank a little bit of time. And then as we go through the Newton Hills from mile 16 to 21, I plan on losing somewhere between 15 to 20 seconds a mile, which seems to be pretty standard. And then the last, at the top of the hill, so the last 5.5 miles or so, I plan on running just a little bit slower than goal pace because I've noticed that most runners cannot hold their kind of goal pace in that last 5 or 10K. So when I look at the splits, that means I should be 20 minutes at 5K and exactly 40 minutes at 10K. The halfway point right at 128 even. And then at the bottom of the hill, so mile 16, I want to be at 147.45. And then at the top of the Newton Hills at the 35 kilometer mark, I want to be, or actually at the 21 mile mark, I want to be at 2 hours, 23 minutes even. And if I can do that, then I should be able to cross the finish line at 2:59 as long as I can hold a 7-minute per mile pace. And here's the gear. So let's start top down. First is my hat. There'll be a little bit of light rain, so this will be helpful, just keeping it out of my face. And then my singlet, you can see here, Portland Running Company. That's the team I race for back home. And my bib, it's white, which means I'm in wave 2. And you can see the 1 in the corner there. That means I'm in a corral 1, so at the start of wave 2. And then just plain old shorts. I've worn these many times in 2 to 2.5 hour runs, and they work just fine. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. And then for nutrition, I'll be taking the Martin gels here. I've done 3 or 4 long runs with them. Haven't had any intestinal problems, so that's good. And then just a simple belt to store the gels that I'll be pulling out every 40 minutes or so. Shoes. So I will be wearing the Nike Vaporfly 4%. I've worn them for only 2 other workouts. Both of them were marathon pace tempos at 8 miles or around 13 kilometers or so. I felt great in them, so I'm looking forward to racing in them tomorrow. And then this little doohickey here is the Stride foot pod, which will be measuring my power. And I've spoken to Stride. They had a booth here, and they say I can hold about 250 to 252 watts. So I'll be keeping an eye on that from time to time to make sure that I am within the right power range and that I'm not working too hard. Just some simple low socks. I don't want too much fabric tomorrow because it's going to be a little bit warm and also a little bit wet. And then actually I'm going to be wearing 2 watches. So on my left here, I'll be running with the Garmin 235. And in particular, I'm going to use the Peters Race Pacer. And I'll provide a link to my review of that app in the upper right-hand corner here. It's really great. It'll keep an eye on what my ETA is at any point in the race. And it'll tell me exactly what pace I need to continue at to hit my goal time of 2:59. And then on the right, I'll be wearing the Apple Watch 4. So I'm just going to be using this to read the power readings from the Stride FootPod. Now I can do that on the Garmin as well, but I didn't want to toggle back and forth between screens. And since I have 2 watches, why not use them? So that's basically it. Okay, so let's take a look at my schedule for tomorrow. Let's see, wake up time is at 4:45 a.m. I'll get quickly dressed, run outside, and right next door to the hotel is a Starbucks, which miraculously opens up at 4:30 a.m. So I'll go there, I'll get probably a large cappuccino, come back to my hotel room quickly where I've got my favorite bread and almond butter, and I'll make my go-to pre-race breakfast. And then at 6:15, I'll head out again, jump on the subway, go 2 stops to the area where the buses are and the baggage claim is for your post-race gear. I'll drop that off and probably around 7:15 or so, hop on the bus to go to the Athletes Village near the start line. That ride takes about 40 minutes or so. So right around 8 o'clock, I'll arrive at the village, and then I, along with everyone else, gets to wait for a while. In fact, we have to wait about 1 hour and 40 minutes, but there's plenty of bagels and bananas and water and porta potties, so everything should be okay. Then we walk over about 1 kilometer or so to the start line, and there again, we have to wait about 40 minutes for the gun to go off, which it will at 10:25. And then if everything goes exactly according to plan, I will cross the finish line at 1:24 p.m. Eastern Time. As I mentioned, the race should end for me right around 1:24 Eastern Time. So after I get back to my hotel room, if I am physically able to, I'll go ahead and quickly shoot a race recap video and upload it so you can watch it on Tuesday. So that's it. There is nothing left to do but actually run the race tomorrow. Let me know in the comments below how you think I'm gonna do. My goal time is 2:59, and anything under 3 I'll be really happy with. All right, so that just about wraps things up. Nothing left to do now other than go ahead and run the race tomorrow. My goal time is 2:59 flat. In the comments below, let me know what you think I'm gonna do. If I can do anything under 3 hours, I'll be really happy. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you really like what you saw, then click subscribe. You know, it's free, why not? Anyways, that's all for today. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.